Welcome to this video on how to avoid going blank while speaking. I'm sure most of us who use English as a second language have encountered this problem at some time or the other. We start speaking and suddenly we find that a word or a phrase escapes from our mind. It doesn't come to us at all. In such a case, what should we do? That is what this video will tell you. But please remember that you need to watch the video fully and practice these steps. Unless we practice, we can never improve. The more you practice, the better your abilities become. You can communicate better without going blank if you practice a lot. I can give you my own example. After practicing English from the age 5 when I went to school to today, when 6 decades later, I don't need to think and speak by feeling that I might go blank. The words are available in my mind and they come to me whenever I need them. That is the skill which I want all of you to learn so that at no point should you struggle. Please share the video, please like also and comment, and finally subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet. Let us begin by talking about that situation where we suddenly become blank when we are speaking. There are two reasons for this. One is that we might have forgotten the point which we wanted to speak, especially when you are speaking extempore without preparation, impromptu speaking. You don't have a prepared sheet of paper which you can look at. But in case you have lost the thread of your ideas, in case you don't know what to say after what, or you suddenly feel, then what you need to do is you can repeat the earlier point, you can give some examples, or you can talk about some more ideas related to the earlier point which you're talking about till your mind processes the other point, till your mind recollects what you had. For this, memory sharpening is very important. That is one of the examples of when the mind goes blank. That is, you don't have what to say for the next idea. The second situation is where a word or a phrase escapes you. That happens maximum. We are trying to get a particular word and that word just doesn't come to the mind. Then what do? These are the two situations which we are going to talk about in this video. Please remember that in both situations you can avoid going blank by practicing this. The first point is what we call mindfulness. Mindfulness is a concept which is very popular today. It comes from Buddhism. Mindful meditation they have. So mindfulness means all your mental energy is only on a particular point. That means when you are speaking, you are not able to see or do anything else except concentrate on what you are saying, what you have to say next. It can be compared to the story of Arjuna hitting the eye of the fish, where other brothers could see the leaves, the tree, no, not fish, bird. Fish was much later. So when these young boys are learning archery, all the brothers say, I can see the sky, I can see the leaves, I can see the tree. When it is Arjuna's turn, he says, I can only see the eye of the bird. I can't even see the full bird. The bird is sitting on the tree and the archers have to hit the bird's eye. So that is what mindfulness is. You collect all your mental energy and put it together. When we do that, we usually don't allow, the mind to become blank. Total concentration without getting distracted are qualities of mindfulness. That in the first instance which I gave you of forgetting a point, etc., mindfulness is very, very important. Also, if you learn many words, if you concentrate on your vocabulary, then mindfulness will remind you of the right vocabulary. We have a passive vocabulary at the back of the mind. We can make it into an active vocabulary by practicing mindfulness. That means you are bringing the passive form into the active part of your brain. That way, you will not become blank when you are speaking. You will not forget when you are speaking. Another very important point is that when we are speaking, if we get overexcited, if our emotions are too many, if we get terribly nervous, then we become blank. So, emotional control, what is again a very important skill today, emotional intelligence. I will do many videos on soft skills later. Emotional intelligence is a very important skill. So if we have a balance of emotions when we are speaking, if we don't get too excited or if we don't get too nervous, if we control our worries of speaking, if we allow ourselves to speak naturally, then we don't become blank. Blankness comes when our emotions interfere with our speaking. You forget a word when you try too hard to remember the word. Again, I'll give you the example of the story of Shakuntala. King Dushyant forgets that he marries Shakuntala because his memory is just lost. When he sees the ring which is found inside a fish, he remembers the whole episode. Many of us forget like this. All our past experiences we don't remember, but we can recollect. And how do we recollect? When we recollect, we have to be tranquil. We have to be peaceful. We should not be overtly emotional. We should not have too many emotions interfering. So that's a very important point to remember. Now, when you forget, you get flustered. Don't do that. To control our mind, to control our thoughts, we need to breathe properly. Remember in the phonetics videos, in the pronunciation videos, I have told you how while speaking we are breathing out. But we need to pause and breathe in. Then again we are speaking, the air is coming out of our lungs. That is the only way in which we can speak. When the air is going into the lungs, we cannot speak. So we need to pause. We need to, allow the mind to relax. And this comes by breathing normally, breathing properly. Usually, whenever we are performing, our breathing becomes very fast. You will notice when you are doing exercises, when you are walking briskly or running, when you are, waiting for some news, your heartbeat is very fast and your breathing is also different. The ability to breathe at a normal pace keeps your mind active. It doesn't allow your mind to go blank or get distracted. So, to avoid going blank, we have to change our entire character. We have to work on other things also apart from English. So, I'm only talking to you about English now. So, I will give you some exercises with which you can improve. Without going blank, you can speak continuously. Suppose it is that you forget words. You are not able to get the correct word at the correct time. There is a beautiful book called Right Word at the Right Time. It was published maybe, many decades ago by the Reader's Digest. The right word at the right time. So, using the right word at the right time, that is what you learn. So, your exposure to vocabulary is very, very important. If your problem is that you forget words, then you need to practice vocabulary a lot. Vocabulary can be practiced by reading and listening widely. If every day you have the habit of reading something new, every day you have the habit of listening to something new, you will at least pick up 1 or 2 words to enhance your vocabulary. If you go to certain offices, you will find they write 1 word in some other language. They are trying to teach all the employees that language. So every day a new word is written. And the whole day everybody practices that word. Then in 365 days, they have learned 365 words. In this way, we avoid going blank. Learning 100 words per day is no way, that you won't, there is no guarantee you won't go blank. Because you cannot remember all the 100 words. Memorizing a word is no guarantee for not going blank. Knowing its use, knowing when it is to be used, keeping it in the front, in the active part of your brain, that is important. So, learning vocabulary from listening and reading is very important for you. Other than that, there are many vocabulary development exercises. I have given you many videos on vocabulary right from the first day when the channel was started till the present. You look at all the vocabulary development videos, vocabulary tips, vocabulary development, vocabulary building. When you do that, that is one way of increasing your vocabulary so that you don't go blank for the want of a word. Suppose you go blank, you can't think of the exact word. Then you can say something which is close to it. You want to say a person is intelligent. You don't know, the word intelligent is not coming to your mind. Then you say the person is very good at thinking or very good at studies. If it's a student, you want to say is intelligent. If somebody is intelligent in looking after, their life or managing their resources, then you say that he's very good at this. Then slowly the word intelligent comes. We get synonyms. If you say that somebody is escaping, then instead of, you can't get the word escape, then you say runaway. Runaway and escape mean the same. In this way, synonyms help you very often. When you are blank, you can't get the exact words. You can't get the right word at the right time. You give some approximation. Then the correct word comes back to you if you have done vocabulary development exercises. Antonym. You can get antonym. You want to buy some cloth. You say, this is very smooth. I don't want the cloth which is so smooth. You can't get the word rough. You are using the antonym. Rough, smooth. So smooth came to your mind, rough did not come. Then antonyms help you. Then you have homophones. Words which sound alike but they mean different. When somebody is talking to you or you are talking to somebody, then you use a word like stare. You say that There are many stairs to go up. Now, somebody says, somebody is staring at you. So stare, S-T-A-R-E, stare means to look, constantly look at somebody. S-T-A-I-R, stare means to climb one. Steps. That is what is stairs. Now, unless you know both of them, you will get confused. You will become blank. Somebody says, which of them are you using? You say, I don't know which I'm using. My mind is totally blank. Therefore, vocabulary helps you a lot. If we practice these vocabulary exercises regularly, if we test ourselves, I have already posted some videos on testing yourself. Answers are also there, beginner's test, beginner's answers, mid-level test, mid-level answers, advanced test, advanced answers. In fact, advanced test is collocation. Collocation is so important for not going blank. If you learn proper collocation, then you will have confidence in your vocabulary. That is very, very important video. Then, of course, we come to the first point I mentioned, that you become blank not because you don't know words, but you become blank because you have forgotten the next point which you were supposed to speak. This is where the problem is now, that you don't know what you're going to say later. Then what you need to do is, if it is a speech which you have prepared for, then you have some draft which you keep as a soft copy. You make a draft, you practice at home, you practice wherever you can, and then that becomes a part of your thought process, so that the draft has points arranged and you have it with you. Suppose it's a speech where you're standing in front of a podium, you can keep the paper and look at it periodically so that, the audience knows that you have the points with you, but you are not only looking at the paper and speaking. You are speaking to the audience, but you are referring to the draft sometimes. That helps you to avoid going blank. This is in the beginning. Suppose you are new to speaking. If you do it for a couple of years, you will be comfortable. Then you won't need that paper with you anytime. You can just close your eyes and speak at any forum you want. These days we have the help of technology. So you can take help of technology also. If you are speaking at a formal occasion, you can use a PowerPoint presentation. The PowerPoint is supposed to be for the audience, but it keeps your thoughts in the proper order. It doesn't allow you to go blank because you have the right order, the right sequence of the points you're going to discuss. You discuss one point and then you glance at the PowerPoint and you again continue with the rest. Don't keep looking at the PowerPoint. I'll soon make a video on presentation skills where I will talk about all this details. But today my idea is that if you go blank when you are speaking because you have missed out an idea, that idea has gone away from your mind, then you practice these. If you go blank because you are struggling to find a word and you are not able to find the word, then you practice vocabulary. Build vocabulary by listening and reading. Build vocabulary by vocabulary exercises, not by memorizing words. This I would not recommend. Many people who are appearing for competitive exams where it's a tough vocabulary, they memorize hundreds of words. People used to come from the neighborhood to take help from me. Friend's brother or friend's sister or friend's child saying that, tomorrow is the exam, can you teach some vocabulary? That is not the way vocabulary is improved. That is not the way you can stop becoming blank. You have to do it over a period of time. Unless you do it over a period of time, you cannot develop your vocabulary You cannot develop your ideas also. On day one, you don't have many ideas, but as you get practice, you have better and better ideas. So please practice these, then you will find that you are not going blank when you are speaking. Just by sitting and listening, you don't avoid it. You have to do all the steps. If you are becoming blank because of your vocabulary, then please start with vocabulary exercises first. Go step by step. Don't try to do everything at once. I'm putting everything into a single video, but you can't do it all together. So listen to the video and then listen to that part which you will practice today. Tomorrow again listen to the video, that part which you're going to practice tomorrow, and so on. All the best and thank you.